Hello, and welcome to Business Talks. I am your host, Lana Smith, and we are in a part two today with Roxy Davis from the Northern Quest Resort and Casino. But we're not going to be we're going to be talking about social media influencing.
Yeah.
Roxy has this amazing experience with social media. We talked about being an influencer and what that meant, and Roxy was the perfect guest to talk about this. So, Roxy, thanks for coming back.
I'm so excited to be here.
And so, moving into social media, and you came into radio.
Yes.
When social
When
media
it
erupted.
started, yeah, when it was
Yes.
growing. So it was very different for me learning it. I feel like a lot of people when they think of social media, or they used to, I think now you should be past this, but like their own personal diary or their own little
Yes.
private
I
story
ate
they get
this hamburger
Yes,
at noon, or
yes,
here's my dog, it just got
yes,
groomed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, you know what? That's fine and
Yeah.
that's fun to share. But sometimes people don't realize that what you put on there is going to come back at you 7 years later, 10 years later.
Can you tell the
never dies.
millennials this? Can you please tell my son, my 23, please tell my son.
He's Gen
about
Z,
this.
He's even one
is
lower.
he?
Yeah,
Oh,
isn't
guy.
he?
Well, 23, is that Gen Z?
It's real close.
I just go Gen A, B, C, D. Just get down. I have no idea. At my age, Gen. I don't get it. But yeah, you see this with millennials, Gen Zs.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand that party picture from college at the Chi Delta function, and you were doing the beer bong, and now you're trying to get a job as a CPA with, let's say, Moss Adams. And yes, and it comes back. How do
there
you tell them?
for
How do you
everyone
teach?
to see. And so I feel in a weird way very lucky to have learned that lesson early on. And it's not like because I was already in media, it's not like I was even posting pictures of
Anything
really big
like-
part, right?
yes.
But so one story, we were at a girls' weekend, post a picture of just, laying by the pool, and it is appropriate, right? But now my friends in the background are getting friend requests from complete randos on the internet.
Oh.
And, that I was very like, I'm so sorry. I didn't even take into account that this is fun. I've had
Yes.
one margarita by the pool. Yay, we're so excited. We're clothed appropriately, but it's still now this
Kind of encroached in their world.
yes,
Okay.
right. And so you don't realize the reach it has, both negative but then also positive, and how to kind of navigate that.
Yes.
So when you realize that it can be used, and I don't like to say marketing because marketing is advertising. It's a branding tool. It's an excitement tool. It is its own driver for people to decide what they want to do or how they view things. And when you recognize it as basically what it is, a media channel that everybody has access to, you all can make your own little media channel, and what are you going to put on it? Then you really have an understanding of what social media is and how you should be using it.
You need to think before you post.
Yeah.
That's what I always say to my kids. Think before you post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if you want to think it's private or your own people, it's not going to be that way. So it's a bummer because I know some people really did have that. They liked being able to share their thoughts, whether they were mad at the person at the bank or whatever, but
Or
don't
family
put that you were mad at the
drama,
person
or-
at the bank, because then later when you accidentally make a mistake, someone like, wow, you were mad at the person at the bank.
Or applied for a job at that bank.
at the bank, right?
The same bank you dissed because you were
Yeah,
upset
just
that
gotta
your
be careful.
deposit was
Yeah,
off.
it was a day late or something. Yeah.
It's true. But so, advice. So we've got a lot of people out there, like you're saying, TikTok, Insta, Twitter, Facebook, of course, for
Yes.
my demographic.
So the thing I feel like people should realize, so for your own personal, you can see your own personal brand, and people always say,
What is that? I'm going to stop you because a lot of people, when they hear your own personal brand, they probably don't understand. I just know that as a business person, but
yes.
what does that mean?
So basically it's the impression that you leave of yourself. It's what people think about you. Your business card is your smile. Your brand is what they think about after you're gone. So it can be, so what you're putting out there is what people see as a representation of you, and thinking, keeping it positive, keeping it fun, keeping it happy, but realizing, and I actually had a really hard time with this for a while because there were days when I was maybe at concerts, somewhere across the country and putting every picture of every band, like this band is my favorite or this band is my favorite, when really I'm actually kind of having a hard day and it's cold in the tent, even though it's 1,000,000 degrees outside, and I've been waiting for these bands and nobody's coming, and I'm missing all my favorite shows that I would have loved to have seen. And it's actually not as fun as I'm putting out on social media. So I feel like, well, now am I part of the problem? I'm
are
lying.
you being disingenuous or you're not authentic,
right?
Yes.
But
that's tough.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's super hard. And I actually one of the reasons I almost left radio earlier, and I was like, I don't know that I can do this social media thing. I don't know that I can maintain this. I feel like I'm part of the problem, this fake perfect life on the internet that is not really what exists. And I remember actually talking to a person in a band and telling them this, and they're like, yeah, but you're helping us. Like, you helped us. You just brought our attention to people that might not have seen us in other ways. And we're really appreciative of that. And thank you. And it kind of made me take a step back and be like, okay, this isn't all about me.
Yeah.
You
Well,
can,
it is
think
your
about
social media.
Yes,
It is, you are an
but
influencer.
when you think about, like, if you are spreading positivity or if you are, and I had another, I like to travel, and, sometimes like, gosh, am I just putting out there that I'm doing something fun and now people have to feel bad about their lives? Or maybe I'm helping inspire someone to travel. And I've had multiple people like, you know what, I wasn't going to go there and I am going there. I booked a trip, or you inspired me to take a 2-week vacation and I usually only take one. So being able to look at, there is a negative side of social, but there's the positive side. And if you use it positively, you'll feel better
responsibly.
about it. Yeah.
And positively.
Yes, you'll feel better about it. But it's its own job when you have to do it for a business or a brand, and you just have to kind of realize that it's part of the bit, and it's part of what you're creating for yourself in person and then online. And I always say there's different versions of yourself, like how you see me versus how he sees me versus how someone else sees me. And part of that is what you put out of yourself, and you have to recognize that version of yourself exists. So be sure what you're putting out there is what you want people to feel like is you.
Well, and I had a conversation with my kids about this, because I see the millennials, Gen Zers, it's almost like if they don't post it on social media,
Pictures or it didn't happen.
That's it. And so I took my boys to Costa Rica in March, and they're 30 and 23, but my 23-year-old, and that was it. He wasn't, and I felt bad, because I'm like, Dylan, you're missing it. You're taking pictures for your branding, however you want to say that, on social media, but you're missing the whole thing. He goes, no, I'm not. It's right here. And it made me a little bit sad. Like, if he doesn't post it, it didn't exist.
Yeah.
That authentic experience. How do you say it? What do you do?
It's a very hard balance. And, because my job, like, this is what I'm putting out here, that I'm having the most fun ever, but really I know I'm having this kind of a hard day. And so it's the same with people. It's the same with you see influencers, you see micro influencers, and I think they're absolutely fabulous. I think more businesses should use them.
Okay, I have to stop you.
Okay.
A micro influencer. So we need a definition. What does that
mean? Influencer would
mean?
usually be someone over 10,000 people on Instagram.
So they have 10,000 followers.
Yes.
That's a major influencer?
That would be considered an influencer. I think you have to have like 100,000 before you're a big one, but you can be considered an influencer once you're at 10K. The problem is people can buy likes. They can. Yeah.
No idea.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you can buy comments. So you have to look for the authentic. There's a whole world of it. It's not even that expensive. I had a friend try it one time just to see, like, $20, 1,000 likes. Let's see what happens. Like, there's 1,000 likes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I thought I was learned on this. I'm not.
You can
I had
get it.
no idea.
You have to be really careful about if you are a business and you do want to use someone just because they have 10,000, or you have to look at who their followers are, what they're saying on their posts, how much engagement they're getting, what their pictures are.
That's a whole nother job.
It's a whole other job too.
It's a whole nother job.
Micro influencers are basically anything between that 1 and 10,000 range. And that's usually when you'll get people, like if you're in like Spokane, for instance, that would make more sense because that's where your audience
There's your
is going to be,
scope.
right?
Yes.
Unless you're like selling online. And then a bigger one would be great because then you can get outside of your regular audience base, regular who you're reaching already. So you kind of have to look at for your business versus what your needs are. But I'm a huge advocate
What's your
for,
goal? What is your goal
for the
in your
smaller
plan?
influencers.
Okay.
But I follow a lot of them, obviously, because
How
of
do
it.
you
And some of them are my friends.
So how do you know micro influencers? Like how do you find those people? And is it Instagram? Is it Twitter? Or is it Facebook?
So depending
How
on
do
who
you-
your audience is. So Facebook
Yes.
is for a little bit the older generation.
Go
Sorry.
ahead. Go ahead. Can I get an amen?
Yes.
Okay.
Instagram is a little bit younger. Twitter actually tends to like go male, actually, if you're, because a lot of males follow sports and news on Twitter. And then TikTok is obviously going to be the youngest, but that hasn't really been a place for brands yet. And if you are going to try to be a brand on TikTok, you can't be a business. You have to be a content creator. You have to be funny. You have to be exciting. You have to be engaging, which actually is true for all of them, but way more on TikTok because
it's video.
People don't care.
I mean, it's just video.
Yeah, people, and it's
Facebook,
authentic, but
Instagram, pictures, a
yeah,
photo.
Yeah.
But video does get more response. We've noticed that with Wishing Star in our
Depending
marketing.
on the video that you're using, and
True.
depending on if you're organic versus paid, paid video is going to get more organic. If you're on Facebook, a lot of times you just want that one vibrant photo, and it will go a lot of places because people aren't necessarily scrolling to sit there for 4 minutes, right?
Yes.
So it depends on
Short attention span.
you
15,
need that
15 seconds. Yes,
you just
15
need something that
seconds.
grabs and then goes
And
away.
a quick story. So 3 sentences, a picture,
Yeah.
and they're done. They're
Yeah,
on. They're
yes,
scrolling.
Yes. So yeah, anyway, but with the micro influencers you watch, and a lot of times you see them repost pictures from, like what your son was saying, there's Cabo again, and here's a different inspirational photo. And it is a job for them to do that. And it can
They're
be
missing the-
a
they're missing the
mentally
moment.
draining job.
Well, and I think, let me just say, for young people, when they look at this and see everybody's life is perfect, and nobody's life is perfect.
No one's life is perfect.
But they sure
all
make it
those
look.
bands were really nice, but I was not having a good day.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, you're living your dream. I'm like, this isn't my dream to be backstage at some cold, muddy venue in Ohio. Like, I don't know what to tell you right now. I didn't
But on
dream this up,
social
but
media, you're living the
This
dream.
is my favorite band. No, this is my favorite band. No, this is my favorite band. But that's when you have to like really separate, like, am I putting out positivity? And am I hoping to make this little thing a better place for someone somehow? And then you can kind of come to terms with it. But it is a very draining, and it's a high burnout. Like in social media, I was very lucky to be able to be offered a job on concerts because it's a high burnout, especially
Imagine.
with.
Well, you said 4 concerts in a week.
Yeah. But I'll take that
And
over
each-
social media every day
Yeah,
because
but that's 4 events. And I know that's a lot of work.
events are big, but social media never ends. And events, you have this, I put a bow on it, it's over, I did
Yes,
that.
true.
Social media, it's like you got to post, you get your comments, some are positive, some are negative, you respond, and then you have to post again, and then you have to post again, and you have to post again, and there's
Never
never
stops.
an end, and there's never, no matter how good one posted, you got to follow it up with
And
something
trending.
else.
And if you miss the boat,
Yep.
and if you
Yep.
you don't post for 3 days,
Yeah,
something
you
else will
lost your
come in.
algorithms. Mark Zuckerberg's
know.
so mad at you.
So
now you're gonna have to
crazy.
pay for all your things. Yeah, there is a lot of really like there's techniques you can use to beat it, but you have to be on top of it. If you don't adjust every 6 months, they're going to be completely non-usable because they adjust constantly. So it's an interesting world, and I think that people always think that I like social media because I've worked in it the whole time it's there. And I'm like, I didn't create this world. And again, this isn't my quote. I didn't create this world. I'm just trying to live in it, right? It's here. So how do you live in it? You can't just ignore Facebook or Twitter or whatever and say it's not
Well, you
there.
can, but the problem is you're missing a whole.
Yeah. You can, but you're not
can.
going to, you're not going to be as successful because your competition is there.
That's true.
Politics aside, we really probably had a president win on Twitter, right? And that's basically, so you can't ignore the power that social media has, and that
Well, and the other side of
exists.
the coin now is that, you can be doxxed. You can be doxxed on social media,
Yeah.
and that affects everything.
cancel
And
culture, yeah.
Cancel culture.
Yep.
And, somebody's got to make a decision somewhere that either we follow the Constitution or we know that it's a private entity and they can make the decisions there that they want.
Yeah.
But it can't be both ways.
Nope.
No,
It's one
cancel
or the other.
culture. So if there's people out there that are looking at upping their social media game, wanting to become an influencer, give me your top 4 pieces of advice that they should be doing.
So if you are in a business and you want to try to grow it, people always think of social media marketing and social media as the same thing. When marketing is advertising, and you cannot forget that, and any media channel should have 20% or less advertising, or you're going to lose your ratings, right? Okay. So if you lose your ratings and you're still doing all the work, you're still putting all the content out, but it's boring, it's not beating the algorithms, now you're doing it for nothing. So why? So you have to, and that's a hard thing because people, especially marketers, they're like, oh, well, this is what I want to tell people, I'm going to put it out. Is that what people want to see, or is that what they're used to seeing?
Or is that what you want?
That's what you want them to see, because you're competing with pictures of people's babies, puppies, kittens. It's got to be just that cute. So you have to find what is entertaining about your brand, and that's where entertainment and social media hand to hand. This is so easy. This is what is entertaining. This is the passion product. So like an example is if you are a vet's office and you are posting, like literally 8 out of 10 posts should be cat memes or dog memes or something fun, something engaging, something exciting. And then the one can be, here's some dog warmer we sell or whatever, right? Yes. So you have to really pay attention that those are 2 different things. If you are trying to be an influencer, knowing that it's a draining position, knowing what you're getting into, knowing that the comments, the responses are a huge part. It's a 2-way communication channel. That's another thing. Every other media channel can say whatever I want right now. Who's going to say anything back to me? Just you, right? Put this anywhere else. Put this on social media.
And your self-esteem in that. The trolls.
Yes.
The trolls. I love it was funny. I got my first troll comment on, anyways, and when I was doing my show, and it was a troll comment, and it made me feel so bad until people were like, oh no, he's commented on all my stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, so now I'm part of that group. Okay, so flip it around, silver lining. But yeah, people can really be mean.
So one of my interviews got picked up when I was in radio by a radio publication and was on social. And again, looking at the comments, and the first comment was, who is this chick? She's awful. The second comment was like something about, I hate that radio station. And then the third comment was like, that band is bad. And so I'm like, well, at least it's all of us. At least we're all equally.
3 strikes, you're out.
Like, I am bad, but so is the band. Yes. So whatever. And it was a very famous, very popular band, which is why it went out there. So like, now you're just a hater. Like, you're all, and you really do have to have that tough skin.
But as older, more mature people, we can look at that. But
right.
Kids.
I know. And that's
and we
difficult.
Look at, we know that teen suicide and there's a high percentage of those that social media was a part of that.
Because it's this direct access to a whole nother way to be negative.
Before,
and
when you'd be negative, somebody would call you a name, it would be face to face, right? So then either you walk away or you rumble, right?
Right.
Or you talk it out. But now it's not like that. Anybody can say anything.
Whatever they want, and they're just
there's
behind
no
the screen.
repercussions.
Yep.
Yes, that's bad.
So it is bad. But then going back again, like if you're a brand and you want to grow, using micro-influencers is a great way to do it, but finding the right ones, finding people that can express the excitement
and promote
it authentically in a way that
engages and excites. We have a social media strategist for Wishing Star.
Yeah.
She does Erin Peterson. She does a phenomenal job. And that we've learned so much from her. Things we never knew.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you've got micro
influencers, which are ones that are going to be in your community. Over 10,000 is an influencer, and then you have the big ones that are, I think, 100,000 or more, and that probably is always changing.
And you can buy likes.
You can buy likes, so make sure they're authentic.
Comments.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So, and you can go through, you can look at people's comments, and you're like, those are interesting profile pictures, or like when they're just commenting like, yay, like those are probably purchased.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know. Okay.
I know. So there's all these things to kind of
so
go
you
through.
said 2. Give us 2 more.
Okay. So if you really are looking to grow, you should really look where your audience is at, who you're trying to reach,
Okay.
what you're wanting to accomplish. Because I think that's to people just, they want to put out what they want to put out rather than who's there and what do they want to see. Like, stop giving this to them if that's not what's reacting. Like, really look at when you see, I was actually helping a band one time, and they kept just posting their tour schedules, right? I'm like, you've already posted that 10 times. The people that like that have already liked it. You can either sponsor that post so it's the same one growing, or look at this picture with the kid in your t-shirt.
Yes.
That's reacting. People are going to see that. Look at this picture of you guys on tour that is really vibrant and wonderful. Rather than putting 8 in a slideshow, save them, like the micro-influencers do, and put them in different places and be like, use them. The picture doesn't necessarily have to go with what you're saying. If you want to say, buy our tickets to our tour, it doesn't need to be a picture of the tour. It should be a fun, vibrant picture of something else that's going to capture that attention. And then, oh, by the way, also buy tickets to our tour or our merch.
Well,
or
and that
whatever
shows the
you're doing.
importance of people and businesses hiring social media strategists because that's their job.
And understanding that it's a soft, people always want to see that exact click-through rate or how, and it really is the lifetime value of a consumer is what you should be looking at. You should be building a community of your own brand influencers that will then see this cool picture of a band or a cat meme or whatever it is that you're sharing. And now they want to be part of that too. So they share it, they grow that for you. But you can only do that if you're putting out content that speaks to people and not putting out content that you want to share.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Gosh. Thank you
Yeah.
for being here. This is okay. I'm enlightened. I'm so enlightened. I had no idea about some of this stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not a social media influencer, but I know some.
Yes, there you go.
Good.
And I can help.
No, Miss Roxy.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful. And I'm so excited for your new gig.
Thank you.
And can't wait to see you just continue to grow out at Northern Quest.
I feel really excited to be there.
They are, let me just say, they are blessed to have you.
Well, thank
Just
you.
so you know that. You're lovely. And
thank you.
So we thank you and hope that you got some really good information today. I know I did. And this is Business Talks, and I am your host, Lana Smith.
Well, this is Bloomsday in Spokane. We got about 40 firefighters and their friends and family handing out 40,000 cups of water as the day goes by.
It's a very good opportunity to see the public and support them and help them out and cheer them on during Bloomsday.
It's one of the best things about Spokane is that we have these major events and the whole community comes together not just to participate, but to volunteer and show that they really care about our city and making our city look great.
This type of an event really is emblematic of Spokane because so many people get involved. We have 50,000 people probably running this race. Always has been a very huge event.
Right now we're at the corner of Broadway and Nettleton. It's the last water station before the finish, so people are pretty much dehydrated by the time they get to us. They really need our water.
The water stations are a vital part, especially on warm days like today. It's real important that we have the volunteers to help with that. Without the volunteers, Bloomsday wouldn't exist.
All up and down the course, there are people that are involved in this celebration. It really is a celebration of what Spokane's all about.